The history of the Lawrence family is a major part of the Kelton House Museum and Garden.
The Kelton family was part of the abolitionist movement, and they actually sheltered a woman escaping slavery for 10 years here in the Kelton family home. If you look in the case before you, you will see Martha Hartway. She had escaped slavery in Virginia and made her way to Columbus. She was found hiding in the shrubbery outside the Kelton home by Sophia Kelton. She was taken in and was found to be too sick to travel north, and so she stayed here. She became a member of the family. She was 10 years old when she arrived, and at 20, she married Thomas Lawrence, who was a free black carpenter who worked for the Kelton family. They were actually married here in the Kelton parlor. They named their first son, Arthur Kelton Lawrence, after Martha's childhood Kelton family friends, and they maintained a relationship with the Kelton family for some years. They bought their first home from a Colonel Watson who was married to Ella Kelton. Then the family drifted apart, and it wasn't until the 20th century that the family reunited. In 1975, when Grace was 94 years old, Ruth Lawrence, who was married to the grandson of Thomas and Martha, found pictures of the Kelton family in the Lawrence attic, and she asked her husband, who were these people? He explained that these were Kelton family members who had sheltered his grandparents and who had provided support during the first years of their marriage. So Ruth Lawrence called Grace Kelton, and Grace invited the two Lawrences to tea, and they reminisced about the grandparents and the relationship between the Keltons and the Lawrences. A few years ago, James Lawrence gave these photographs to the Kelton House, along with several reading books which had been used by Frank Kelton and by Arthur Kelton Lawrence.
Family friend James Lawrence remembers about his grandmother.
My grandmother was a runaway slave, coming all the way from Powhatan, Virginia, to Columbus, Ohio. We don't know just how she made it, but she and her sister did indeed make it all the way to the Columbus and the Kelton House, where they were found and taken in. And my grandmother stayed because she was ill. Her sister continued her journeys, and that's how my grandmother happened to live in the Kelton House.
Let's go up the front stairs. Now, if you were a servant, you would certainly not be allowed on the front stairs. And if you were a child, you would not be allowed on the front stairs. In fact, when we opened the Kelton House in the 1970s, Grace Kelton's cook came to take a tour of the front of the house because she'd never been allowed in the front of the house before. Now, as we go up the stairs, you'll notice that the windows are not symmetrically placed on the inside of the house. However, they are symmetric on the outside of the house. And for Victorians, it was much more important that things look good from the outside than that they look good from the inside. And if you notice the little well that's created by having these windows asymmetrically placed, you might understand that it was probably a good thing that the children were not allowed on the front staircase.